Brent Johnson, and today I'm at the Church of St. Mary of the Assumption in Columbus, Ohio. I have been tooling around Columbus, visiting organs that are going to be displayed at the 2022 Organ Historical Society Convention, which happens here in Columbus and some surrounding cities. We've just been visiting organs in Columbus, and today I'm here at this church. I'm here by myself, so it's just going to be you and me as I go through this 1902 Schulke organ. Schulke is a Wisconsin organ builder. We saw one of their organs last fall. This one is a little bit bigger than the one we saw. This is two manual. I don't know exactly how many ranks. I didn't count, but we'll go through them and see. It's all right here in the gallery of this beautiful church, so we'll go through and listen to some of the stops. Now, this organ, actually, this is not the original console, at least the interior. The organ was restored and rebuilt by the J.W. Muller Company of Croton, Ohio, in 2001. The name tag tells me here, so we're going to listen to it a little bit. We'll start with the first open diapason. It's a big, thick sound. It's right here in the front of the organ, so it's nice and bright. You can also hear there's a fantastic acoustic in this building. After that, we have a second diapason. Just to compare, here's the first and the second. The volume levels aren't that different. I'm used to the first diapason being like really big and the second being smaller, but it's definitely a smaller scale, edgier diapason. On top of that, we have a 4-foot octave. I'm going to listen to that first. With the first open. Then just the second. Kind of fits better with the second. The first still overwhelms it a little bit. And then there's a 2-foot super octave that goes on top of that. And it's nice and bright. And then there's a 2 2/3 quint in between there. Very full chorus by itself, but then there is a 5-rank mixture that goes on top of that. So I'm just going to hear that by itself. So it's not huge, but here's with the second, the octave and the super octave. Do that again. This is with the Nazard, and then with the mixture. Big sound, so that's a lot going on there. Let's go to some of the softer things in here. Well, I should have added there is a 16-foot open diapason, and I assume that's what's in the facade. Sounds big and woody like I would expect. Let's build that up with the first open. 4-foot, 2 2/3, and the 2-foot. Finally, the mixture. That's a big sound just out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 ranks. Then we also have an 8-foot melodia in the grate. Very lovely. There is also an 8-foot dulciana in the grate. And it has an undamaris to go with it. sparkly sound with the couplers. There's also an 8-foot Doppel Flute here. It's certainly big, but doesn't quite have the clarity I'm used to with a Doppel Flute. But some in the middle that are nice. It's a pretty thick Doppel Flute. There's also a 4-foot Violino. Very gentle string. I'm curious what it sounds like with the flutes. Here's the Melodia, here's the Doppel Flute. Kind of sits on top of the Dulciana. We also have one more flute, a 4-foot harmonic flute. So the 8-foot Melodia. The Doppel Flute for comparison. There's a tremulant in the grate for. Not too severe, but adds a little bit of color to those. And then finally we have an 8-foot trumpet. Pretty bright and bold. Let's hear it with the principal chorus. So starting with even the 16 open diapason, I'm just going to skip the first for now. Second diapason, octave, super octave, and mixture. All right, we'll leave the mixture off here. I want to hear it with just this. Adding the mixture. Brightness there. All right, that's the grate. Over here in the swell, we have a little bit bigger division. I'm going to start with the 8-foot open diapason in the swell. It's kind of a stringy edge to it. Just for comparison, here's the second open in the grate. Very similar to the second in quality, but it's certainly softer. Of course, this swell division doesn't really have a principal chorus as such. It just has a lot of 8-foot sounds. So we're just going to stay right there. We have a stop diapason. Lovely chipper little flute. There's also, very interestingly, a quintadena. Strange to find in a 1902 organ, but here it is. Yeah, a thin little sound. I'm curious if I put it with the stop diapason. It kind of gets overwhelmed. We'll look at that in a bit. There's also a viol da gamba. Very edgy, but not too loud, and then of course a viol celeste to go with it. That's all of the 8-foots. We do have a 16-foot Borden that's independent. We only have 2 4-foot stops. We have a Gems horn. It is with the stop diapason. And with the viol de gamba, just to see how it works. Definitely makes the strings a little more edgy. Here's with the viol celeste. It kind of works to give a little sparkle to the strings there. We have one other 4-foot. It's a Flauto traverso. And here it is with the 8-foot stop diapason. Just curious. Here's the quintadena in the 4-foot. Use that for accompanying something else. And then a piccolo, 2-foot, with the flauto and the stop diapason. And then we have the thing we come across so often, a 3-rank dolce cornet. 3-rank mixture, but it's very soft, and it has the tierce rank, has the 3rd in it. And as we've discussed, it's not really for use in like a principal course, but maybe on top of the string. So it's our string celeste with the dolce cornet. And add the 4-foot Gems horn too. Quintadena. It just helps to brighten up the ensemble. It adds a little bit of clarity. I mean, if you had a contrapuntal line of that going through, say, with just the string. It could work, you could play some Bach in there if you needed to, but then we have just 3 reed ranks in there, starting, of course, with an oboe. Nice, lovely oboe. Then a cornopian. Nice big sound in there. Let's compare it to the great trumpet. Definitely more of a cornopian sound. And then finally a vox humana. With the tremulante. Maybe some strings. Dolce cornet. It's a big warm, a lot of 8-foot sounds to mess around with in there. In the pedal, we actually have 6 independent ranks, starting with the softest one, which is a 16-foot Borden. And there's a 16-foot sub-bass. And the biggest, which sounds like it's coming from the back of the case, a 16-foot double open diapason. Two 8-foot ranks, an octave bass, 8. An 8-foot violoncello. And finally, a 16-foot trombone. So I'm not sure this is actually the best way to get into the case. There does appear to be a door on the side, but opening that required moving a lot of furniture out of the way. So instead we managed to squeeze through this way. And inside we see that this is all new mechanical stuff in here. I didn't realize that when we first came in. All of the wind chests are new. All of those regulators and tremolos are new. It's just all old pipework on new wind chests. So here we see pedal stops and the Schulke name tag there. Patented chests are long gone. Looking up, we see the grate and the pedal, and then the bottom end of the pedal is down here underneath. There's the bottom of the pedal trombone and the 16-foot open. And up this ladder takes us up to the grate. And here we are. At that level, these are pedal pipes on the side of the case. That ladder goes up to the swell box. And in there is the grate. Here we are looking at grate pipes from the middle of the chest. I don't know what that speaker was for. I thought maybe there might be some MIDI instruments or something going through it, but here's the Doppel Flute, and we can definitely see two mouths, one on either side. There's the melodia, the dulciana, and the trumpet. And there's the swell chest above us, so turning around to go back out, we have gone up now to the level of the swell in this very narrow walkboard where there's a cymbal start. I did not see a switch for the cymbal start. There are the shades to the front, and then on the sides of the box at the top are there extra little doors for expression. They're easier to see from the inside. Opening the double folding door, we go in and we see the oboe first thing, vox humana down there at knee level. And there's the cornopian. 16-foot Bordens along the back wall, along with the bottom of the first open diapason. And there's our 16 and 8-foot flutes. You can see the quintadena is that capped metal flute in there, next to the 4-foot and the string, with the cornet mixture at the front, and the bottom end of it is actually very large. It looks like it could be a 2-foot mixture. And there you can see, well, there's the expression shades to the front, and there are little side expression doors. Give us a little more opening to the chamber. Back out on the walkboard, we get a look at the ceiling in this very ornate and beautifully decorated church. I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour of the 1902 Schulke organ here at St. Mary of the Assumption Church in Columbus, Ohio. This is, of course, one of the locations for the 2022 Organ Historical Society convention, which is happening here in Columbus just in a few weeks. So if you're interested in coming to the convention, there is information down in the description about how you can register. Down there, you can also find a link to our website where you can become a sponsor of the Organ Media Foundation and help us make new videos like this. You can become like Richard Bird, who became a video sponsor this year and is the reason we're here today. Thank you, Richard. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and be sure you're subscribed because there are still more videos from Columbus coming out. So you'll click the bell for notifications and you'll be notified as soon as these videos go online. Until then, you can always find streaming classical organ music on our 3 stations, organlive.com, Positively Baroque, and The Organ Experience. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Brent Johnson.